today. I'm just coming back to the space in my van again with the desire to talk and share my thoughts and to just let come through what wants to come through. As there is a lot that wants to come through. And this time I actually have a theme, or I have some thoughts I brought with me I want to share a little bit about, and I want to talk a little bit about, and it's about desires and how my desires have led me to this current moment, and how following my desires have really opened up worlds I've never dreamed of, or I never really imagined of before. And I'm currently at this point in my life where I actually today I've met one human, her, I think she was a her. Her name is Michelle, and we had just a very brief talk. She follows me on Instagram and said hello, and we were just sharing some few words, and that few words I realized that I've been like we met on a festival, and at the end of a festival, I've just came from New Vision Festival here in Germany, and yeah, in the end, and she asked me how it was for me, and I was answering that I felt like I was not fully there at this festival. It felt like some parts of me were just somewhere else, and that I now go and find them. And saying this made me realize, like, yeah, I really feel like I've lost some parts of me. I lost some parts of my soul, or maybe it's not so much that I've lost them, but it's like I also spoke about in the last video, like it's more like my soul calls me somewhere, and I kind of like have to catch up to gather all these parts together again. And doing that requires me to take a leap of faith, to go and follow my desires. So bringing that back to the desires. And I want to go back a little bit to a few years ago, and to wrap up and to reflect on how the desires and following my desires had showed up in the past few years. And so what came up into my mind is this these situations where I just had this desire to work in Switzerland for a season in a hotel or something like that. And I was working in a hotel in Switzerland. I made this dream possible, but it was not nothing really like rational. It was not connected to my career path or to anything bigger behind it. It was just like this random desire to like go to Switzerland in the winter season, have some snow with me, and yeah, just be there and earn some money. And I allowed myself to do that, to just apply and stay at this nice, sweet little village in the Swiss mountains, surrounded by snow, super beautiful, 3 months of snow really opening my heart and really enjoying the winter there. And being there and earning that money made me come to this realization, this question of what do I actually want to do with this money. And so then there was this phase where I was just reflecting, what do I want from my life? What do I want to manifest in my life? And being there, I started posting on Instagram, and I decided to buy a van, and I manifested this van, which I really love and which was just like the perfect fit for me. And it was also a time where I was super dedicated and super disciplined with my practice, which is now also like I've now turned it into a mini course, because it's like it's a tantric activation that really elevated me every day, that really set me back to my highest self every day in that phase. And what I want to say with that is that me having the desire to go to Switzerland and work in the Swiss mountains is like, that's kind of like the fact, but I had no clue what would occur from that, what seeds would be planted in that time that were not connected at all to being in the Swiss mountains, like. But at the same time, it was really connected to being in the Swiss mountains. You get what I mean? Like, if I wouldn't be there at that exact hotel and that place and time and that loneliness, because I was not lonely, but I was alone most of the time, and having so much time alone for myself allowed me to dive really, really deep and really, really utilize this winter as this potent time to seed planting and to develop my practice and to kind of like start all these little things. And so then the next desire was a van, and I've been dreaming at that point of a van since maybe 3 or 4 years, and not super actively, but it was always in the back of my mind. It was always like this, it would have been so nice to have a van, right? Like all the cool people are van lifing, and like a few years before there was Corona, and so like everyone started having a van, and so I also desired to have a van. And then being in Switzerland, earning all of this money, I was like, what do I do with this money? And so I was like, yeah, I gonna buy a van. Like, I fulfill this dream of mine that I had for a few years to fulfill this desire. And the fact that I bought this van opened up so many new worlds and so many chapters I've never thought of when I was manifesting, when I was dreaming of it. I was, of course, like aware that I would be able to travel more and that I would be able to just be more flexible, to go to festivals and be there and be here and be everywhere. But having this van then allowed me to half a year later leave my my room in Leipzig and to leave my room there and to go for a 1 year long travel in my van, which then opened up whole new other chapters. And yeah, like on this path, after buying my van and then going to Greece alone in my van and having this desire for another dream was, for example, ISTA training, International School of Temple Art. So as I'm coming from the tantric field, there was just like this desire to do an ISTA training, because ISTA, it's a pretty, like in the field, it's a pretty famous school. More like neo-tantric school, and I was just like drawn to it in some way. I was like, I don't know, like I need to go there. And having this van allowed me to go to Greece to do this to do this training there, which I desired as well. And this as well opened up new doors. I met a beautiful sister of mine that then inspired me more and more to go deeper and deeper into Instagram, and opened up new worlds again and again. And I guess maybe you know this yourself, maybe you also don't know this. You're like, maybe you've never really allowed yourself to dream and to actually go for your dreams, because right now I feel I'm at this point in time where I have to take this leap of faith, because all these dreams were connected to a leap. It were connected to letting go of control and taking a step into the unknown, taking a step to 0 point, where I really love this word of 0 point, where the meaning, or what it means for me, is like to come to a point in my life, to come to a point in time where I feel there's just complete blank state. It's like I leave behind everything I knew, everything I've been identifying with. Of course, not everything, but like the big main things, like a home, like a lifestyle, like an identity I took on for several months or a year or several years, and to let go of that and to stand at this edge of where I take the next step and I have no clue what happens. I give it all to the universe, I give it all to God. And every time I did this in my life, most magical things happened. And yeah, right now I feel through the eclipse and everything that's moving, I can feel how I've been so far away from the soul essence of mine, and how it actually, as I'm talking about it, it feels a bit like my soul is already there. She's already living the dream I'm desiring. And for me right now, it's to become a snowboard teacher. And it's so